Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Scoundrel Den. If you'd like to join the Scoundrel Den and become an official Scoundrel, there is a subscription button down below. We are about 400 subscribers away from 80k, so if we can do that, that is amazing, because then I am 4/5 of the way there to my magic 100,000 subscriber button, which I will treasure and put on the back wall. If I can get to 100,000 subscribers, it's going on the back wall. Also, thanks to G2A for sponsoring the channel. There's a reference link in the description below. So what are we doing today? What are we talking about? Well, what you're going to see today is a discussion on strip mining, and we're going to talk about the Retriver, we're going to talk about the skills required, and then I am going to talk a little bit about some footage that I have of me strip mining from the beta. Now, strip mining works in exactly the same way. I just don't have a Retriver, didn't put any skills in mining, so we are going to use footage that I actually was supposed to publish in the beta but never got around to. So yeah, we're going to do that. So first of all, let's talk about the Retriver. The Retriver is the first ship that you're able to equip a strip miner to, and you can see here you're going to have plus max 1 strip miners, and you're going to have 2 high slots with +1 warp stability, and you're going to be able to have So the Retriver is the first ship that you're going to be able to get your hands on that can effectively use strip miners. It is a tier 7 ship. You will not be able to unlock it and fly it until you have hit tier 7, but I'm making this video as I know some of you have already hit tier 7 and some of you are due to hit tier 7 in the near future. There is obviously the riggings, or the slots that you can see at the top, 2 high slots, 2 medium and 3 low, with 3 rigging slots of each type. There is a 2 drone holds as well. Not particularly relevant because I think very few of you will be running drones, but you might as well put drones in there if you have them. Roll bonus, you're going to get +1 warp stability, so you're going to get some extra warp stability by just being a Retriver, and you're going to get an extra max strip miner slot, so you're going to be able to have 2 strip miners on the Retriver. You're going to get 10% strip miner yield per strip mining level, so that's in your level section, so that can take you all the way up to 50% extra yield from your strip miners. And then per advanced industrial ship command level, you're going to get 10% drone effective HP and 5% ore hold capacity. Not particularly relevant for drone effective HP because you're not going to be combating anyone, but ore hold capacity is pretty important, especially when your ore hold capacity is 24,000 meters cubed. You'll bump that up by 6,000 at max advanced industrial command level, and you'll get up to 30,000 total meters cubed. Which is a huge ore hold, and you're going to need it because the strip miners generally tend to reap everything in asteroid fields. You don't get a say in what you get most of the time. You really have to do that by distance, but you're going to get a lot of extra ore hold capacity compared to the Venture, but you're also just going to get a load of random ores as well. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about skills. So, obviously, you're going to be having Industrial Ship Command, Advanced Industrial Ship Command for the bonus. Those are both really important. Expert Industrial Ship Command if you end up getting there. It depends if you're going to go for shield booster or you're going to go for armor hardening. I would recommend shield booster just because when you're in a mining ship, your first layer of defense is going to be important, and therefore you're going to get burst extra shield. And so I'd say that shield operation is actually relatively important if you're planning on having some kind of shield booster or shield extender for a get out of jail free card, mainly because as you can see, shield booster activation gets a bonus from shield operation. Defense upgrade, you're obviously going to be looking for industrial ship, so industrial ship defense upgrade and industrial ship, advanced industrial ship defense upgrade. Not going to matter a huge deal, but obviously any extra HP that you're going to get, potentially if you're getting ganked, is always going to be important. And again, when it comes to engineering, all the way down the bottom, industrial ship and advanced industrial ship engineering, those are both really important. Targeting is actually targeting is actually not important at all for this because you don't actually have to target the asteroids at all. You can literally just turn your strip miners on, and that is everything when it comes to the ship skills on this side. Let's go have a look at the industrial technology skills that you're going to need. Really, you're just going to need strip mining and advanced strip mining. Obviously, getting strip mining all the way up to level 5 is going to give you an extra 50% strip mining yield. And then if you're interested in reprocessing anything, it really depends on what ores that you fancy reprocessing, but I'm doing scrap metal reprocessing right now. But if you want to have reprocessing skills for ore, always really important. And actually, whenever you're doing mining, it is important to think about trade and accounting levels, because accounting is going to reduce the tax that you pay. Trade is going to allow you to have more orders on the market. And those are also really important if you're ever thinking about doing serious industrial. So if you're interested in buying a Retriver off the market instead of producing your own, you'll find that you can see them at, for instance, Jitter. They'll be more expensive, but across the galaxy, they're about 140 million. So a pretty significant investment for an industrial ship. If you are interested then also in adding the strip miners, which I would thoroughly recommend, I would not bother running normal miners on a Retriver. You might as well just run that in Adventure 3. If you go to the equipment, you'll see, let's say you're going to go for a Mark 7 because you'll be at Mark 7. They're about 1 million to 1.2 million each, so they're pretty hefty. And then on top of that, when you're looking at rigs, so if you go to engineering rigs and then go to industrial rigs, if you look at like miner efficiency circulation, so miner efficiency is pretty big, it's going to set you back about 8 mil. Miner circulation accelerator is going to set you back 20 mil, and those are usually the two that you find equipped to most mining. It can be pretty expensive to set up a Retriver. But speaking of setting up a Retriver, let's have a look at some of the fittings that you can run on it. So because I don't own a Retriver, I'm actually using some footage from the beta. And so this is a bit of a ghetto, kind of low budget fitting part of the video. For your high slots, you're just going to want the highest Mark miner that you can afford. Mark 5 miners are Mark 5 strip miners are significantly cheaper. They're about 1/5 of the price of Mark 7 strip miners, so you may want to consider those if you don't have the cash to spend. But if you're spending 140 million on a Retriver, you probably have a couple mil to spend on some Mark 7s. For mid slots, there really is no great mid slots for industrial ships, but I would recommend either a Stasis Web of Fire or a Nosferatu. But Stasis Web of Fire might just be the most useful, just in case you're getting attacked by a frigate and you want to sort of slow them down. And then for low slots, I always like a shield extender over like a shield booster, but also like if you want to go for a shield booster, that's fine. You might want to go for both an extender and a booster. I would say that if you can afford an Aura warp core stabilizer, then you could potentially go for a shield booster and a shield extender with your 3 low slots. Otherwise, I would just go for 2 warp core stabilizers, whichever one gives you the most or gives you the most additive to your overall warp core stability, and then just add a shield extender. The most important thing for you is not getting warp jammed, and everything that you do needs to be set up to prevent that. And then in terms of the riggings, I have read that 3 circulation riggings are best for the strip miner, but I would say that if you can't afford 3 circulation riggings, as they're about 20 million a piece, get as many as you can, 1 or 2, and then just put miner efficiency in for the rest. Doesn't matter a huge amount about optimal range, although you could, if you're really worried about your optimal range, add in an optimal range rigging as well. Okay, so that is everything you need to know about fittings. Let's now have a look at the strip miner in action, and this is some footage from the beta, so you might notice some things on the UI that are a little bit different, but overall, what is important to note is that actually the strip miner works exactly the same way. You're going to have an optimal range on the strip miner. That is the maximum range that your strip miners can actually mine ore from. What you're going to do is you're going to get in range of as many asteroids that you want, and obviously with a strip miner, when you activate them, you will not be able to choose the asteroids that you mine. It will just target and mine asteroids nearby at random. Okay, so find out what your optimal range is by hovering over your strip miner, and then go into the point in an asteroid belt or an asteroid cluster where you have the most asteroids surrounding you, and if you are trying to get into a cluster to mine specific types of ore, then try and surround yourself with the ore types that you're looking for, and then hit your strip miners. And then they're just going to sit there and they're going to mine everything until your ore hold is full. That is how strip mining works. You can see in the beta, I actually had a cloaking device on my Retriver. It might be worth considering, but because it's not a covert ops and you can't equip a covert ops cloaking device to a Retriver, you're not going to be able to escape. It's just going to help keep you moderately safe if pirates come in and you're looking to reposition. But otherwise, I would just say warp core stabilizers and a shield extender if you're in a rough situation is usually just the way to go. So yeah, what you do is you basically jump into a system and you then just essentially mine at a belt. You just fill up your ore hold and then you go back and dump it all. That's basically what strip miner is. It does what it says on the tin. It strips out an asteroid belt or an asteroid cluster. Really, really efficient way of mining, but you just don't get the selection of or the specific type of ores that you want. Okay, now that we've done a little brief example, and again, I think you guys can figure out strip mining relatively easily for yourself, we are going to talk a bit about a YouTuber who has really impressed me and I think is an incredible YouTuber. He's only got 900 or so subs, but I want you guys to check him out. He's called Jgeks, and so I'm going to have a little talk about his channel now. Before we get going any further into the spreadsheet, I do want to talk a little bit about this guy's videos.
I'm Jgeks.
I'm going to actually mute him just because I want to talk over it. Jgeks. He is a really, I'm going to like this, I actually hadn't liked it before. He is a really informative Eve Echoes YouTuber that talks a lot about ore prices, and he does a lot of marketeering stuff, but specifically if you're a miner and looking to figure out how ore prices are fluctuating and how mineral prices are fluctuating, he breaks everything down into like minerals. He breaks it down into Plex, high sec stuff, low sec stuff, null sec stuff, and then does a little a tier list right at the end, which I think is really awesome. So right now, he is one of the best YouTubers to follow in terms of updates on the market, and I'm going to link his channel in the description below because he is fantastic. Really good information. I don't use the information he kind of puts out as much because I'm not a miner, but I did come across him and just thought that it's really nice to highlight Eve Echoes YouTubers that are putting a lot of really high level effort into their content, and he really does. So I want to give a shout out to him. He deserves the love, so make sure you go and drop him a subscribe and also throw some comments on his videos just saying that you guys are supporting him because he does some really good content. And if we can get him to 1,000 subscribers, if he can get to 1,000 subscribers, like that's really good. So yeah, I just really want to highlight how good this guy is for the kind of content that he produces. And if you go to his channel, you'll see he does a lot of stuff that's kind of essentially ore prices and planetary production. He does loads of really great planetary materials as well. I actually need to follow this because I don't do planetary material stuff enough, but he's brilliant. He really is really good. So yeah, drop him a subscribe. Oh, and now we're going to go into the spreadsheet. Just as a final part to this video, you guys might remember that I have a mining spreadsheet available. This is still available, and I will put the link in the description below. I have updated it to be more self-sufficient. It didn't used to be as self-sufficient. I'm not going to go through the mining spreadsheet as a whole, but what I will tell you is the bits that I've updated since the last time that I did a video. So what I've done is, with the help of and some suggestions from YouTube commenters and Discord commenters, I have essentially been able to start pulling prices for tritanium, pyrite, mexalon, isogen, noxium, etc., and also prices of the ores, so price of like veldspar, etc. down here. I've been able to pull them from this table here, which is automatically updated from Eve Echoes Market, which I'll also link, eve/echoes/market.com. I'll put that link in the description as well. So I'm now pulling prices automatically from their API, and that is now updating the ore values and also updating the efficiency calculator, which I've got here. The extra thing that I've added is the traffic light system for the ore reprocessing calculator. So let's say that you want to figure out whether you for instance, you have really high reprocessing skills in spodumene, and you want to find out whether it's better to just sell the spodumene on the market or to reprocess it and sell the ores that you get from it, okay? Right now, at base reprocessing, it is not worth it to reprocess any ores except for Bistot and Arcanor, which no one is really buying, and that's the only reason that you're not reprocessing those, is they don't really contain much that's particularly useful. So let's say you have, I don't know, let's put special ores, 50% reprocessing. Okay, we've now got 50% reprocessing in spodumene. We go down, we have a look. Oh wait, one of the traffic lights has popped up, and it's telling me that spodumene is now per ore about 200 times 200 ISK more profitable per ore to reprocess spodumene at 50% reprocessing. Let's say you want to have a look at like an uncommon, or let's say you want to have a look at pyro. So let's say your uncommon ore reprocessing is 50. We're going to go into the traffic light system. Oh, look, okay. Now we've got 3 uncommon ores that are much more effective to sell than reprocess, and pyro being one of them at 532 compared to just selling the ore at 450. So that's the update that I've made with the traffic light system here. It all depends on you just inputting your reprocessing skills, which you can find on the particular ore in game, and that will sort of show you and update the traffic light system over here, which I think is quite a nice little addition. And I do need to go down to the change logs to just see who I have to thank for that, because I can't remember right now. Thank you to Lasaro on YouTube for giving the idea for Eve Echoes. He actually did it in a different way. I had no idea. He actually linked me a spreadsheet where he'd already made the changes, but I had no idea how he did it. So I went and figured out how to do it myself, but did it in a different method. And thank you to Mason in Discord for helping me figure out the lookup system. So I'm actually using a VLOOKUP system for the API echoes data to make sure that I never have to worry about these things being inaccurate. So yeah, that is although Megasite, if Megasite is now selling at 11,500, I'll eat a hat, because that wasn't happening. That wasn't happening in game earlier. But everything else looks relatively right for the current ore prices. So yeah, that's this mining spreadsheet has been updated. Now, thank you for watching the video, guys. If you have enjoyed the content, please feel free to drop me a like and a subscribe, and a comment also really helps. I will also link Eve Echo's market and also the ore reprocessing spreadsheet in the description below.